yay, the fun one. The one that gets a tenth the views, and yet is the one where I get to enjoy myself.
You people really relish in misery, huh?
Just kidding. Let's get into the better half of list season. So, whoopee! What a barely functional year. Static and samey. I think it'll make my third list quite fun, for as not fun as the year has been.
And probably for the only time ever, my tentatives were the exact same length for both lists.
We got an equal amount of good and bad. Hooray! 5 out of 10 year. Of course, we're talking the same stuff as the worst list eligibles, with only one spoiled cheat. Having fun hearing me explain this again? Me neither. These are the top 10 best songs of 2018. Number 10.
Nah, I like dollars, I like diamonds.
Oh wow, look how talented.
Cold ass bitch, I get raw chills.
Unbelievable skill.
These expensive, these is red bottoms.
Ugh.
She was the biggest rapper from last year. She can handle a little flack.
I just don't like any of her solo songs. There's always some gimmick. It sounds really forced and artless. But again, white guy from rural Ohio over here, not my genre.
And yet, I can't stay away when she's on other people's songs. Finesse, 2018's underachieving anthem of the year.
Cards were stacked against us from the beginning. Cardi B feature, New Jack Swing, and even the most uncomfortably awkward woodblock of all time turned out to be one of the most intriguing songs of the year.
I tried to hate it, and I just couldn't.
Initially, I really did detest it, but slowly, I realized I wouldn't change the channel when it was on until its raw, convincing power brought me over to liking it.
Mainly it's because Cardi broke my expectations.
Bruno? Yeah, whatever. He took a useless genre and made it happen. But Cardi did the one thing I assumed she couldn't.
Have fun.
Is she talking about anything special? No, but it doesn't matter. This is one of the only times she didn't hold her talent back by following some shoddy structure. Her first hit was uninteresting, her biggest was annoying, but her featured hit was just fun.
Bruno, sing to me while I do my money dance. Like,
Hey!
She's bringing us all to the outdated, clunky party and saying, yeah, this oddly specific retro party is weird, but let loose like me.
My liking this song still confuses me.
New Jack Swing is so ridiculous, and yet Bruno Mars's inexplicable ability to retrofit his sound to most old genres puts a song I'd usually auto-reject into my best list. In convoluted summary, Finesse is a destined failure that won me over by two pros displaying successful execution.
Guest forever, Cardi. I can't wait for the next one, Bruno. Maybe.
Number 9. Last year, I shocked myself when a Sam Smith song clawed its way into my best list. A great deal of it was an evolution and maturity that his performance levels never had before. But what really sold it was the added gospel vocals.
'Cause I'm such a religious person.
Well anyways, let's say that softened my judgment of somewhat gaudy and really full gospel choirs.
And thus far, the front runner for my favorite use of a gospel choir?
I have gotten this damn melody stuck in my head countless times. Well done, guys. You really knocked this one out of the park.
But they did a good job! No!
Okay, fine. I really like the guitar melody that moves through some parts of the song. It's a really comforting riff that's actually a delightful change, and he's dead.
Damn you, Gambino!
These two instances are the transitions into the meat of the song, which is the overbearing, sludgy modern rap and all of the cliches that go with it.
I like it a lot.
No, actually, this is surprisingly well made. I mean, not really shocking for Glover here, but definitely for the rest.
All winners in my book.
Other than that guy with, I'll call it, a different stage name, we got a bunch of real winners. We've got a guy carried by Drake, Grandpa, 21 songs and I can't identify one, and Mr. Buyer's Remorse.
And yet, they made this appealing for once.
I can't explain why or how they did it, but they made the usual formula work. The guy yelling the last word said has never worked for me outside of Bounce Back. And yet here...
Don't catch you slipping now.
Now that's how to use your voice as an instrument.
For once, the committee approach was the way to go. All of these common and yet slightly different stars made the best song of their careers. This Is America? More like this made a lot of resumes.
I see you worked on This Is America. You can have my job.
This isn't just Gambino's success, it's everybody's success.
100 bands, 100 bands, 100 bands. Contraband, contraband, contraband.
Take that Gucci Gang guy, whatever you're called. Now your career is overshadowed by one cutting satirical jab. This Is America sounds great, and I'm happy to have let it into my life.
Somebody else could talk about gun violence and racism. I just think it sounds good.
Number 8.
Now I want you to think of a song that couldn't be more opposite of This Is America. Okay, why not Panic at the Disco in 2018?
Had to have high hopes for living.
Say Amen is better.
Oh, it's Saturday night.
Look, it's very easy to get frustrated with public buying habits. I'll never experience a top 20 that's better than a 4 out of 10, but I guess it takes persistence to get a song to stick.
I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed in you, America.
And talk about persistence. High Hopes was the theme to everything. Radio, football, breathing. It's been inescapable, and for once, that's a good thing.
In the age of 6ix9ine and Maroon 5, we are not worthy of a Panic hit.
It may not be their best or most ambitious, but we've needed a good motivational song. Not from some prick too famous to realize a little bit of humility, but an artist like Brandon Urie.
Okay, maybe artist isn't the best way to describe him here.
Some people sell out and try to play it off as a shift in direction or sound, but High Hopes isn't even trying to hide it.
What I've always loved about Panic at the Disco is their revolutionary and ahead of its time trap percussion.
Like Brandon, you still have a drummer on payroll. He must have really wanted another hit.
The weirdest part is it kind of works.
In terms of quality, it's up there for shockingly good sellouts. It might not be a very deep list, but it rarely works.
But can I tell you how refreshing it is to hear a motivational song I actually believe?
Maybe it's from the onslaught of pandering Imagine Dragons garbage that's lowered my self-esteem, but something as simply triumphant as High Hopes is exactly what we've needed. Is it Eye of the Tiger triumphant? No, but in the year of 6ix9ine, we needed something simple and full of pride. Number 7.
Oh no, we're here. Why didn't I just get that lobotomy and stop forming opinions?
I woke up in Chris Brown's body.
I already know you hate this. I already started doing the worst of committee tallying, and this is definitely well on its way to top 5. Chris Brown is a piece of shit who should never make another thing until he castrates himself. Little Dicky's sense of humor is base level and childish and just not funny. DJ Mustard, what? Is this 2014? Look at all these random people at the end. Do they have no shame?
Okay, if there's one thing I'll agree to, it's that Kendall Jenner's thing at the end is the worst.
Yikes. Like, was that all they could give her to do? You know what? Never mind. Let's pretend the song ended 18 seconds sooner.
With all of those reasons, I still gotta say, Freaky Friday hit a spot no other song did this year.
It's personal, but in a time where I just wanted to feel happier, a novelty song destroying the Billboard Top 20 was perfect. What else was I supposed to get that kind of dumb entertainment from?
Listen for the best.
Yawn.
Happen, I made it obvious.
Fucking barf. Go away, you two.
Tell me why you don't lie.
Is anybody even trying anymore? Different is what we needed, and we got it.
And if there's one thing it's got, it's different.
This whole situation has got me feeling like that Suicide Squad director.
I think that some of the criticism is so over the top vitriolic.
Oh yeah, Ducky, use Suicide Squad. That'll definitely build a stronger case.
I mean, this is a lost battle for me here. If you already hate it, I'm not going to change your mind. Comes down to me subjectively liking a song, and just me.
The only real tact is to be as absent-mindedly accepting of the song as people have been rejecting it.
It's not funny? Out my ass. How's it feel to be so stuck up you can't take a joke, idiot? This is the best DJ Mustard production ever. Maybe you should give it a chance.
Ain't nobody judging cause I'm black or my controversial path.
No, I'm not touching that. Never mind. This song sucks and I love it. Deal with it.
I'm just gonna start releasing the committee videos as my own opinion next year. Yikes.
Number 6.
Jesus is a friend of mine. Jesus is my friend.
I'm sure you've seen this little nugget floating around your Facebook too.
Oh, sorry. Facebook is the old social media app where your lame relatives post 7-year-old viral videos that haven't aged well. Stay away at all costs.
Anyways, some people might call this song religious. Christian rock, maybe.
Rock and roll.
Keep telling yourself that, Donny Osmond.
Oh, sorry. Donny Osmond is an American celebrity who...
What you're seeing is what the general public associates with the genre. It clubs you over the head with its message and nearly doesn't resemble music as it's formulaic and predictable.
Except this one. I about unironically love this.
And he'll zap you any way he can. Zap.
So what happens when a notoriously Christian artist crosses over into the mainstream?
Well, fuck that. It's not real music. Oh. It's great.
So you want to dismiss Nate for being a Christian artist? Hold that against Let You Down?
Why?
I'll give you 5 seconds to find the Christian overtones here. Just kidding, there are none. Don't waste your time writing it off before you've given it a chance. I was a little off course. It's actually about Nate's strained relationship with his father. Both the video and lyrics were trying to tell me that.
What did I do wrong this time? That's parents for you.
Although, I did willingly dismiss the video. It is bad.
Oh, nice symbolism there. Really tactful and subtle. You got one evil dad. No son of mine can't swim. Kick your legs, pussy.
The video director didn't get what the song was going for, but NF did.
Let me guess. You want an apology? Probably. How can we...
Again, you can tell that this was a guy throwing himself into the performance. His flow and power are as good as they're ever going to be. And he was even as ballsy to put out my least favorite trick.
It's like we're on edge right now.
I like it here.
Instead of just pulling it out to liven up an already lost cause of a song, he uses it to display a layer of vulnerability. It's refreshing to hear a vocal gimmick used for emotional effect instead of just to show off what your new Casio can do.
I'm a couple 100 miles from Japan and
I hate you, Zed.
The song just fit its own mold too well. It was exactly what it needed to be and nothing more. Hope he never tries to do this again, because it would sound pretty pathetic in comparison.
If that's how you really feel, then why'd you call last night?
Dude!
Number 5.
Come over here, sit next to me.
Really good taste in Foster the People songs there, America, you brain-dead plebeians.
Although it was never able to breach the top 40, Sit Next to Me is now their second highest charting song in Foster history. So that means it did better than this. And this. And this. And this. And this. And this. And at least 10 other Foster songs that are infinitely better than the most shoot for the middle song they will ever make.
Man, I hope the paycheck was worth it. Where's my fedora? What the hell are those?
You see, I can restrain myself from including every indie rock song that becomes almost popular, even from one of my favorite bands of all time. You gotta go that extra mile to make it on here.
Nah, here's blank the blank doing a generic indie rock thing.
Simple, easy to get into, and fun from start to finish. Destined one-hit wonders Lovely made a rock song flooded with crossover appeal. In a universe of samey Despacito ripoffs and reprehensible SoundCloud rappers, we got a little band remaking Shut Up and Dance.
Whatever fucking works.
We don't have to lie to ourselves here. Making the crossover success wasn't difficult. The last decade has seen similar indie pop victories from Walk the Moon, Portugal the Man, Foster the People, Bastille the Pompeii, Neighborhood the Neighborhood.
I think these dumb indie band names have made me broken.
It's not fair to call them all dead the same. They've each got what sets them apart. Love enacted just one heck of a chorus hook. In its basic form, that's love right there. Not necessarily being broken or lonely, but sharing a similar disposition or attribute with somebody that makes you feel closer.
It's cute, is what I'm saying.
It just captures that moment where that other person makes you feel like a truly unstoppable team. And it's amazing. It's why this song's as high as it is. It elevates the whole song.
Not to say the rest of it is bad.
For being the obviously least likable part of the song, this is just innocent and more proof they were shooting for a hit. And it's still not even that bad.
That or I still have numb eardrums from Lauv.
So there's your best and worst parts. The rest is just standard indie Phil. And that's why I can't elevate it above 5.
Or I put it at number 5 because I'm following the Kumrai Fang structure theory. Memorable ol' 5. Poor next song I like more. Victim to the formula.
Number 4.
You Can Catch Me.
Wait a minute.
I gotta thank all the people who put this on Kiss FM's 10 o'clock takeover, because I would not have known what I was missing out on without it. Every day after work, I'd hear this nerdy little song with a Rihanna guest verse. Thank you, Drake, for making a guest verse for the song that gave it that little bump into the top 40. I'll never listen to it, but the chart run is well appreciated. This production is daggone delightful. I don't blame Drake. Anybody could have sounded good in front of Senator Arlen Specter.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Well, that's my favorite sample of a politician in a pop song, that's for sure. But even behind it, that dorky bass melody makes me happy to be alive.
Wait a minute.
It borders on DJ Mustard parody, who I must have wanted to hear in 2018, apparently. Beats the hell out of whatever this Latin mess has been this year.
And they thought it took Cardi B to anchor a good song.
I get it how I live it.
Wait a minute.
I live it how I get it.
You can keep your Cardis or your Nickis or your Iggy's or any other quote-unquote pro-female rappers. Rihanna on Lemon is alive and refreshing.
You could catch me, in the new La Ferrari.
It's practically the silliest example of brag rap, and I don't care. She's not forcing herself to follow some garbage formula. She's not burnt out from years of okay rapping. She didn't choose some laughably awkward topic to tackle. She did her best, and it's all I've ever wanted.
Apparently. Guess you don't know you want something until it surprises you.
Dorkiest, most out-of-nowhere hit of the year. Only 2018, right? Number 3.
And even if I could, I wouldn't turn on you.
Dua, you could never do anything wrong.
In terms of pop charts, when has there been an artist this consistently on as Dua has been? It's only been a little more than a year since New Rules took over radio play, but everything she's been a part of since then has been at least a 7 out of 10. Unless you're Matt, goober.
But in reality, one listen is all it takes.
You say I'm sorry, but it's
Wanna see me as a cute kid? Bam!
That was my life from 14 to 18. Dumb nerd, plays an instrument, picks the nerdiest sport, pretends to be taken seriously on new media with less than 4 figures of subscribers. Pants him.
My addiction to rhythm and a football field was supposed to stay in high school. And it did. Until now.
So you can try all you want.
This is the best, bar none.
Sextuplets? Stick diddles and diddle rolls? Nobody thought of this before? It's genius and utilized perfectly. Oh man, that reminds me of smashing a drum head in an empty gym. Exhilarating. Marching percussion was just a perfect choice for this song that didn't even need it.
You taking notes, Gwen Stefani?
That was my case for marching percussion in all music. Now I do the same for Dua.
About you. No, I don't give a damn.
She is talent. The power and maturity in her voice is unmatched by anybody working right now. Like, who are we stuck with?
I've been running through the jungle.
Maybe in 10 years she'll figure out how to sing or quit.
Haven't I made it obvious?
No, never. Buyer's remorse.
Ain't got no tears in my body.
She's good, but not consistent. For every no tears, we get 3 God is a woman's. Oh, that's just hilarious.
Do always make songs better, no matter what.
Like One Kiss. By the way, honorable mention, One Kiss, Run the Bump.
One kiss is all it takes.
This song would probably be fine if Calvin got somebody else, but she makes it great. She's so good, I bet she could have made Friends good.
We're just friends.
Just kidding. She'd never affiliate with such trash.
But seriously, what else? Would you look at that? It doesn't sound like amateur trash.
To be young and in love in New York City.
Lyrics are neat. I wish my ex had this attitude at some point. We'd both be better off.
Whoops, I didn't mean that.
Look. It's so good, we don't deserve it. Okay, please come back.
Number 2.
I'm okay. Good stuff, that IDGAF.
Although, I think I remember it holding the number 2 spot in summer. Must take some real force of personality to hop right up the list over something as simply perfect as IDGAF.
Everybody get your motherfucking roll on.
Just, what happened here? He still used the same idiot who produced I'm Upset. The album this came packaged with was a standard Drake dump.
Or they threw it in to rescue the album.
We can extrapolate. He's never gonna make anything close to this fun again.
You ain't stressing off no lover in the past tense, you already had them.
This is so aggravating. Nobody's gonna give him anything this light and enjoyable.
It's been basically a decade. Nothing has been this fun of a Drake song since... Oh yeah, there hasn't been one. And the closest thing to this good would have to be...
Worst. Motherfucker never loved us.
That's not fun. Unless you think hilarious irony is fun.
And he wasn't trying to have that happen. You know he thinks he's really thug, where he has to dismiss the fact he was in a TV show. God, how embarrassing.
I'd actually never heard it before the Scorpion video, so that was a win in music discovery. No, seriously, I love it.
Humiliating hot takes aside, nice for what really was the most fun thing we got all year, from a guy who's looked like he's forgotten what that even is. Look at me, I'm so brooding and dark. Nobody understands you, Aubrey, you're so deep. Not this guy, he loves life. And while he was at it, he made girls like you look like a misogynistic wreck. His celebration of women is, well, an actual celebration.
He's making baby steps. Sure is better than saying that they're good enough for guys like him. That should have made my worst list.
Even with Drake staples like those random concert samples and vocal remixes at the end, this superior Drake song threw every potentially good element of his entire body of work into one compact, effective tune.
You might say that Drake never has to make a song or album ever again.
Of course, this doesn't change how I feel about Drake as a whole. Maybe someday he'll drop an album that reaches the highs of a 5 out of 10. But until that day, we got this, and damn is it worth it.
And before I reveal No Tears Left to Cry as my number 1, here's some honorable mentions. Oh, damn it, I was supposed to keep that a secret for suspense.
Everybody says say something, say something.
I have a new rule for my lists I will call the say something rule. If I can't describe why I like something outside of just calling it good, it will automatically be an honorable mention. Humble by Kendrick Lamar is the best example thus far, but I'm sure it won't be the last. So we'll start this entry over.
Everybody says say something.
Say something rule.
Maybe tonight the motives might let me know.
There we go. Now I like SZA. Very much like Dua, she has a distinct vocal presence that sets her apart from the Normanis and Zendayas. All the Stars was proof she can carry a song.
Kendrick also proved to me that he should just do his own thing. Because did he do anything on this song?
You tell me, is there anything interesting here? Cause I sure don't remember it. Kendrick, you know what I think about you featuring?
No more, please stop.
I know I'd go back to you.
Again, this backwards, reductive, rambly thinking is poor and nonsensical.
And you know what else is? Real life. My ex thinks like this.
So it gets totally relatable right. It gets about everything else wrong, but you know, if we can celebrate a baby pooping in a toilet, then we can celebrate when Selena Gomez does something right.
We need to tell her when she does good things, because we are not going to stop buying her music for some reason. She needs help to get better, because she is not getting better on her own.
I've been trying.
Other than being pretty shitty, Ghost Town was the best part of Ye.
Kanye, you've lost your heart. But when you get your producer juices going, the songs are way better.
And yes, I did listen to Kids See Ghosts. It's also not very good.
These guys didn't need a whole album. They needed one song, and it worked. Just this once. Not as good as The Man, but the exciting change of pace alt-rock radio had from Imagine Dragons. Light, up-tempo, and a good old time. It's very similar to...
One foot in front of the other.
It had a little less of a run than that goddamn worthless Foster the People song, but it has that charm of a group still having fun.
According to Spotify, this was my third most listened to song of the year. I don't really know how, but fine by me.
Not really a fan of their albums, but they dropped some pretty concentrated singles. See you again in 4 years, guys.
If only yesterday.
Oh yeah, it's been 4 years for AWOL Nation, too.
Good thing, too, because Sale made me pretty confused as to whether it was a genuinely likable song. Handyman is nothing like it. Completely charming and earnest as hell. Totally worth your time if you're in the mood for a stripped-down tune about love. This is your best option.
Best song of 2018. And you're not going to convince me otherwise. No, I'm serious.
Boopy scoop.
Yes, this is my kind of Kanye.
You can keep whatever Ye was supposed to be. I'll take songs like Bound 2 and Lift Yourself easily. The guy is a genius. He just doesn't know where to use it.
You're such a fuck.
Poopity scoop.
Number 1. Best song of the year has to do something for you. It's got to be addictive. It's got to push your emotions to the limit. It's your number 1. Don't let anybody take it from you.
Some people will call it boring. Some people will call it standard. But god damn it, if No Tears Left to Cry took you places it took me, then you're on my team.
It's just absolutes with it. No song reached these highs. The chorus makes you feel like you're flying. The verses made the build-up to the choruses earned and complete. The song is successful recovery, and nothing comes close to matching it.
Last night took a L, but tonight I bounce back.
Yes, even better than that masterpiece.
That was just, yesterday sucked. We can do better. Tears is reaching the breaking point and using that as a true turning point of triumphant advancement.
So I'm picking it up, I'm living, I'm picking it up.
I got a soft spot for tempo changes. And a soft spot for good music.
As I can predict Drake has made the best song he possibly can, I think a pretty similar sentiment about Ariana. Not because she isn't capable of getting back here, but because this song is almost too perfect to have something come even close to it. I know it's not entirely fair to compare it with the singles it shared the year with, but these three just aren't there. Breathing and Thanks are good, but just missing the power needed to make them anywhere close to this. And God,
That'll be making an appearance in this year's third list.
instead, Cry is Ariana, thus far at her best. This is just showing off. Makes me ask legitimate questions like, is anybody Ariana has followed in the shadow of ever made anything better than this? Mariah Carey is a tad outside of my knowledge and reach, but come on, there's no way.
The song is her strengths. Nothing too low to sound bored, and nothing too high to sound like a dog whistle.
That's all there is to it. Ariana nailed it, and this song was exactly what it needed to be. Boring old perfect. At least to me. Merry farewell, 2018. What a year! But here at Bulk Noise, you know it isn't over until I get that blah-tastic third video out, so here's last year's. And if you miraculously missed this year's worst list, there she is. And committee season is upon us. Check out 2017's worst here. And don't forget to ask if I can include you, because I definitely will. Just like last year.